and gentlemen, babies and elephant, welcome to another new video. My name is Bosley, and today I want to bring you guys Raise Spectre Summoners. This is a very interesting build in the sense that it's a total, complete boss deleter. As you can see in the showcase footage earlier before, that was when I was level 90 and I was doing about 70 to 75 million DPS on the bosses, which is insane. Given the fact that we have the huge advantage of the harvest crafting, that we can actually pretty much craft anything we want that we ever dreamed of, like mirror teach items and stuff like that, etc., that you can craft in this league, which costs a fraction of the price. I won't go so much on the detail. I'm just going to give you a little bit of an introduction. So basically, in terms of clear screen, in terms of single target, definitely very satisfying. It deletes everything, all end game content, any tier 19 maps, anything, all cleared. You can actually push this further for more survivability if you want. For me, I'm having 5.4k HP with having meat shield and a lot of defenses up, which is pretty solid in terms of defense. You can push it up to about 6k health if you want, if you really want to do it. In terms of gear, I would say I spend not that much. I don't think I spend more than 30 exalts in the whole build itself, because most of the parts of the build I crafted the gears myself, which I'm going to go through. Not just build guide today, it's about build guide and a crafting guide as well. I'm just going to bring you guys through as fast as I can. We're going to go through the build guide first, and then we're going to go through the crafting guide, and then hopefully you guys get what I'm trying to tell you, right? So the first things first, we're going to talk about Ascendancy. Now, the Ascendancy is pretty straightforward. The best Ascendancy for this one will be the Summoner, the Witch. This one will be the Necromancer. So the first nodes that you want to pick up, you will definitely want to pick up Mindless Aggression first, and then that one will give you more damage and attack speed, and then after that you want to move down to a Natural Strength, which gives all your minion skill gems all +2 level. And then after that, you want to pick up Commander on Darkness. So this one will give you, you and your allies increased damage, and you and your allies will have increased elemental resistances. And last but not least, you want to get Mistress of Sacrifice. This is the whole purpose of having this node, is just because that the offering skills we're offering will affect you as well. So if you're having, like I'm using Flash Offering, so Flash Offering gives you more speed, move speed and stuff like that, which other words converts to you so that you can have the move speed and attack speed as well, which is really cool when you're mapping, when you're running around the map. Really useful when you definitely want to have this one. If you're using other offerings like bone offerings and stuff that is more defensive, definitely you will get the buffs as well. So that one you want to pick up last. So these are the Ascendancy nodes that you want to pick up, not to be missed. In terms of gear now, so the main gear components of this whole build, the ones that really cost you the most, will be the 3 parts of the build: the wand, the helmet, and the shield. These 3 parts is the ones that boost the DPS the most, and it's actually not that hard to craft it if you know the method I'm going to go through afterwards. I'm just going to go through the gear first, and then after that I will tell you how to craft it, okay? Now, the first things first, we're going to talk about the Convoking one. So the Convoking one, we have +1, this is a +2 gem, +2 level 1, +1 to all spell skill gems, and +1 to all minion skill gems. Hatred has increased aura effect, and triggers socketed spells when you use a skill, and minions deal extra damage. The helmet will be the Bone Helmet. So this one will be +3 minion gems. You will get minion damage and hypothermia link. So technically this is a 6 link, and then it will be a 5 link, sorry, including the Spectre will be 6 link. Socketed spells will have +3 base crit chance. So that means if you're socketing your Spectre here, you will get 3% crit, base crit chance, and then increased damage as well for minions. And the shield will be minimum +2 frenzy and minimum +2 power charges, and also elemental damage, global fizz, and chance to deal double damage. Arcanist Glove is definitely something that you want to go for, because this one will give you gain 20% increase physical damage as extra cold damage. This is very crucial. I would say this is the best in slot in terms of the gloves. You can use any other gloves, but this one is definitely best in stock, and it's going to cost you, I think, what, 60 chaos? Yeah, it's not that expensive anyway. And the boots, you want to get +1 level to all Spectre gems so that you can boost your DPS for your Spectres. And whatever else that you're short of, life, resist, and everything else. The amulet will be a dexterity, minion damage. Rings will be minion damage, life, and resist. Same thing, minion damage, life, and resist. The auxiliaries are quite simple. You want to get minion damage, and then everything else that covers up. So you'll always be short of dexterity. So you want to make sure you want to have dexterity in your jewelries, just to satisfy the requirements for the gems that you're about to use, which are hatred, projectile weakness, greater GMP, and stuff like that. So you definitely want to have dexterity in the jewelries that you have. So dexterity, life, if you're going for a life build, and also resistances to cap your resist. Those are the stuff that you need. Yeah, and minion damage, just to push the DPS further. And last but not least, the belt. The belt will be using Enthroned. This belt is like what? 2 chaos? The reason why we are going to use this belt is because now all the jewels that's been socketed into this belt will be getting 75% increased effect. So that means if you're getting 27 life here, 27 plus 28 life here is 55 life. 55 life will be getting a 75% increase of the based on the 55 life. So technically you'll be getting about almost 100 life, almost 100 life boost just on the base. It's a flat life. And then resistances will be boosted as well. And all the flat fizz for the minion damage will be boosted as well. Now, the raised Spectres, we are going to be raising Redemption Sentries. They are actually one of the best Spectres that you can actually get in the game right now. In terms of the clear speed, cold damage, and they have insane amount of physical damage as well. So whenever you scale physical damage, they will always scale your overall damage as well. So Flat Fizz will be boosted up 75% again. Flat Fist will be boosted at 75%. Everything here you have on the jewels will be boosted 75% increase. And it costs so cheap. Comparing to having a really expensive Stygian Vice, this is a very, very budgetable option, and arguably one of the best options that you can actually go for. So definitely go for this one. And just get really decent jewels and then stock it in and you're done. So these are and the armor will be flat life. More life if you need, and also +1 to maximum Spectres. The most important one is the maximum number of Spectres. The links, you don't have to get a 6 link, you can get a 5 link, is more than enough. There's no 6 link necessary unless you want to socket in Enlighten if you want or whatever, but otherwise, most of the time, just 5 link will be more than good enough for you. So get life, whatever that you're short of on the on the armor. Most importantly is the +1 maximum number of Spectres. So we can have total of 5 Spectres. That's what we can get. Total of 5. Alright? Now we're gonna go for the Flask. I just want to go for Blood of Karui just for the recovery for the life. Just because that I'm gonna get full life recovery at the end of the Flask effect, which is pretty cool. You can use any other normal Eternal Life Flask with proper mods on it if you need, whichever you want. This is totally not necessarily. You can just use any other flask. You can use the what is the flask name? Let me see. Flask that you can use. The other one you can use the sulfur flask. This one is pretty close to Bottle of Faith, which gives you increased damage and consecrated ground. But then your minions won't be getting the crit chance and the enemies increase damage. That's the reason why it's so expensive. The only reason I'm using this because I was lucky enough to get one when I tried my Cortex map. I got from a drop, and then I managed to get the Flask. So otherwise, don't get it if you don't need it. Okay. Quicksilver for move speed, and Quartz for more survivability because the dodge, and Rumi's Concoction for more survivability because the armor and dodge. So these are the flasks that you want to get. The Pantheons will be using Lunaris for mapping. If you're single bossing, if you're single targeting, you're going to be using Solaris. I'm just going to use Garukan just for the move speed, just for the sake of it. It's up to you. You don't want to use Garukan if you don't want. You can always use Aberrath if you want, because Burning Grounds will tend to be annoying sometimes as well. So whichever that suits you the best. In terms of bandits, we'll be going for killing all the bandits. We are getting the 2 additional skill points. That will be very crucial for our skill tree. And that's what we really need. Now the gem links. Now the gem links for the ones, because the one has triggered Socrates spell when you use a skill. So Frostbomb and Desecrate and Flesh Offering will be automatically triggered because we are applying 3 different curses on the enemy. Elemental Weakness, Frostbite, and Projectile Weakness. So Elemental Weakness will be applying from the Animate Guardian because the gloves that he's wearing. I'll go through the gears for the Animate Guardian in a moment. Sorry. Then, when you use... Okay, so how are we going to trigger? Let's go to talk about the Curse on Hit first. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to use Curse on Hit, right? We're going to use Armageddon Brand to curse the enemy, to hit the enemy so that the curses will apply. Now, why are we using Armageddon Brand? Because we are running Avatar of Fire and Elemental Equilibrium. So basically, we want to apply fire damage on them so that their cold resistances will drop, because due to the Elemental Equilibrium, when you use a fire damage on the enemy, all the other elements, which is the lightning and the cold, will be reduced the resistances significantly. Therefore, Armageddon Brand will be used. We curse on hit, so we'll be cursing them with Projectile Weakness and Frostbite. So we're applying 3 different curses on them. On the helmet, you want to use Ray Spectre with elemental damage, GMP, and Death Mark. So if you are going for a single target, it's very simple. Just switch out GMP for Awaken Vicious Projectile. This one you can get it for like 60-70C. And then you can still keep this elemental damage here. You just need to change out this one. Swap out this gem. That's it. For single target. Right? And then this one will have the additional minion damage and hypothermia as well. So it's a 6-link with the Spectre. Quite simple. For the shield, we'll have Second Wind with Dash. We'll be using Dash all the time for our movement speed, movement skill. And Convocation just to bring all your minions back to you and give them regeneration. For the armor, we'll be using Minion Life with Animate Guardian. Withering Tusk just for fun. You don't need to use this. Meat Shield and Carrion Golem. So your Carrion Golem and your Animate Guardian will be your Meat Shield, along with the Minion Life, so they'll be protecting you to give you a bit more survivability. And for the gloves, will be Hatred with Skitterbots, Bone Chill, and Generosity. So the reason why, how are we scaling all the huge chunk of damage for our Spectres is actually by using the aura effect of the Hatred. We are fully focusing on boosting all the aura effects for the Hatred. The more aura effect you can have, the stronger the DPS you can get. So basically, because due to the fact that the Ray Spectre, the Redemption Sentries, has huge amount of physical damage. When you have the Hatred, basically the allies will gain physical damage as extra coal. So they will be scaling on the huge chunk of physical damage, scaling from there 26%. So that's a lot. So increase the aura effect of the Hatred. We will increase more physical damage, which means equals to more cold damage as well. So the focus of the build is you're trying to scale as much aura effect on your Hatred as you can, which converts to more damage output for your Redemption Sentries. So that's why Arcanist's Grip of the Council and the aura effect for your Hatred will be definitely very, very important. So Generosity will boost another 40% for your non-curse auras, which is Hatred, boost 40% of the effect, which is really, really, really important. Summon Skitterbots and Bone Chill, basically they will be chilling and shocking your enemies and giving them more cold exposure, because the Bone Chill will allow the enemy to take more cold damage while they are chilled. So they'll be chilled all the time anyway. And that will be the gem links, I think. Yeah, I pretty much covered the gem links. Now we will go through the crafting. No, we'll go through the skill tree first. Okay. So the skill tree, we're going to be starting from the Witch. Okay, so the Witch will be moving out from here, and then after that you can move out and then move upwards. You can pick up Death Attunement first if you want, and then after that Wisdom of Doom, you don't have to pick it up anytime soon yet, because You'll be applying curses later on, not early in the game, because your level is quite low when you're starting from the beginning. And then you can pick up a life node here if you want. If you're going, I'm talking, this build is based on life based. If you want to do chaos inoculation, you can do life if you can. But if you want to go CI, it's going to cost you a lot more currency. So life will be a lot more cheaper viable option that you can go for. So Death Attunement, and then after you can move downwards, pick up more life nodes. You can pick up Redemption here for more moves and damage. And then move downwards, you can pick up more life. Grave Pack for more damage and attack speed. And then more down here for more life. So we are picking Elemental Equilibrium. And we are picking up Necromantic Edges. So all the bonuses from our shield will be given to our minions instead. So that means the minimum 2 frenzy and minimum 2 power charges will all be given to your minions instead of you. So whatever that applies to the shield here will apply to your minions instead of you, the bonuses. So cold damage scaling, global fist scaling, double damage scaling, everything will be given to your minions instead of you. So that's why they will be getting the constant, permanent frenzy and power charges, as you can see here, which is really, really important. So definitely something that you want to pick up. And yeah, so Avatar of Fire as well. So you will deal no non-fire damage, because you yourself, you want to apply not cold damage. You want to make sure you're applying only fire damage. That's why this one is very important, because you see, your Frost Bomb will be linked. You'll be linking Frost Bomb and triggering your Armageddon brand, right? So Frost Bomb is cold, Armageddon brand is fire. If you are not using Avatar of Fire, your Frost Bomb might interfere, and then it might trigger and then minus the fire and lightning res instead of the cold res instead. So you want to make sure you only do fire damage. That's why your enemies will get the trigger for Elemental Equilibrium, and then they will only take the exposure of minus resist for their cold instead of fire and lightning, right? So Avatar of Fire you want to get as soon as you can get the trigger spells. And last but not least, we're going to talk about the clusters. So the clusters, we'll be using large cluster, medium cluster, and small cluster. So the small clusters, we're all using Surging Vitality, because Surging Vitality basically gives us life regen, and every 5 seconds it will have a huge boost on life regen for over 1 second. So you only want to have 2 of these. You don't want to have too much. This is just a bonus for you to give more survivability at sometimes at the very crucial parts of the farming or single target bossing. You might come across a situation where you take a huge lethal hit, right? So that boost regen will be very helpful in that sense. So you only want to use 2, not 4 of these, only 2. The other 2 you want to use is Fatal instead. So Fatal is by far one of the best in slot for life for the small clusters. So you want to pick up Fatal. Fatal dual with 2 passive skills usually costs about 100 to 120 C. Depends on how you want to craft it yourself. I tried crafting it myself, but it's too much of a hassle, so I rather not. So I rather just buy it off. I tried myself trying to craft it, but it was just a mess. So I gave up. Don't be like me. Okay, so medium cluster. Medium cluster will be using effect of non-curse auras from your skills, because we want to boost all the hatred effect, right? So this one, we're using Precise Commander and Vengeful Commander. So Vengeful Commander gives us 30% increased aura effect for hatred, and this one will give us crit chance and crit multi for our minions. The large cluster, we are using minions deal increased damage, and we're using Vicious Bite and Renewal. So Vicious Bite will give crit chance and crit multi, Renewal will give regen to them and 10% chance to deal double damage when they are on full life. On average, the minions will have about, especially the Redemption Sentries, they will never die, because they will have about 140 to 150,000 life, and they are life leeching for about 16 to 17,000 life per second. So most of the time they will always be full life, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. On the other cluster will be the same. Feasting Fiends and Vicious Bite. Basically, when you craft. Definitely you will have Vicious Bite, but the other craft, if you're lucky, you can have both Feasting Fiends and Renewal. But if you're not lucky, you can just have Feasting Fiends is good enough for you, right? So Same thing, medium clusters are Precise Commander and Vengeful Commander for both the jewels. Now I'm going to go through crafting the stuff, okay? So here I have a notepad. Just a simple breakdown on the crafting for the gears and the cluster jewels. So it's very, very simple. So I'm just going to go through, run through, and then you will understand by using the PoE DB and whatnot, and then you know what I'm talking about. So let's talk about the one first. So the one, we are having +1 all spell skill gems and +1 all minion skill gems, correct? So first off, you want to buy a convoking one that has +1 all spell skill gems. That will cost you less than 100 chaos. Okay, if you are buying this one right off the market, it's gonna be, let me see. You wanna buy off as it is. Oh, okay, the price has certainly gone up sky high. But anyway, if you are to buy this off the market, right, it's going to be at least 15 to 20 exalts. So just craft it yourself. I'm going to tell you how. So get a convoking one, item level 86 and above. Okay, all spell skill gems, and make sure there is an empty suffix. Okay, and then you want the craft on your crafting bench. Cannot roll caster mods, which will cost you 1 blessed orb, I think. Okay. And then you will get either fire damage over time or minion gems +1. Most likely, most of the time, you will get fire damage over time. Not to worry. Just try to augment another one. Sorry, here you want to augment caster. So you want to do, okay, so first, then you do cannot roll caster mods, and then you want to use augment caster, and make sure you have empty suffix, empty prefix as well. Sorry, prefix. So how this works is you want to augment caster. You will either hit fire over time or minion gems +1. But most of the time, will hit fire damage. Don't worry. Just augment another one until you get when you augment another one, you guarantee get a minion gem +1. And then after that, you can remove fire later on, and then you'll be done. Okay, very simple. And then after that, you can work yourself up and try to be like me. You can just buy a Redeemer's Exalted Orb and just slam it and hope to get Hatred. Otherwise, still fine. It's still good enough. I was lucky enough to get Hatred. You can still get anything else. It's fine. And then after that, you can multi-craft Socrates Spell, trigger Socrates Spell, and minion damage. That's for the one. For the helmet, you want to get a Bone Helmet or Hubris Circlet, depending on you want to go CI or Life. If you want to go for Life, definitely Bone Helmet because you get more 20% minion damage. And then Scour it. Okay, you want to make sure it's a Shaper Elder base, both. If you don't have Shaper Elder base, just get a Shaper base and an Elder base and then just slam it together and then just Scour it. Okay? Because if you were to buy this helmet right off the market, it's going to be about 20 exalt. Not worth the money. Awakener's Orb and do it yourself. Just get a Shaper base and Elder base. Whichever base is cheaper, use that base as the highest item level. So you want to make sure it's item level 86 as well. 6. And then after that, just slam. So if you can get the item level 86 Bone Helmet, Shaper is cheaper or Elder is cheaper, get the one that is cheaper, and then use the other one, which is any crap Elder or Shaper, and let's just slam it on it so you can have both the influence on the helmet. Just make sure that you slam it on the Bone Helmet, which is the ones that you're keeping, which is the item level 86, and then Scour it. And then after that, you want to use Bound Fossil to craft minion damage, because minion damage can't be rolled. It can only be crafted because it's a minion mod. So slam it until you get minion damage, and if you're lucky, you get hypothermia and minion gems, then you're done. Otherwise, you can try to get minion damage and minion gems, And then after that, you can augment Cold on the empty suffix to get hypothermia, and then augment Caster to get Socrates spell has crit chance instead of augmenting critical. Because augment crit, first of all, augment crit is expensive, and then augment crit, you might get Socrates attacks have crit chances instead. So when you augment crit Caster, you are guaranteed to get, as long as it's an empty suffix, you're guaranteed to get Socrates spells has crit chance, depending on which tier it is. So it's +1%, +2%, or +3%. So tier 1 is +3%. And then you work your way through there. So that's how you get your minion helm done, right? Minion shield. 2 different shields. Get one as a base or one as to slam it. Same thing, Awakener's Orb. 1 minimum 2 minimum frenzy, 2 minimum power, and then slam it together, and then after that craft all your fizz, your cold damage, depending on what kind of shield. So in order to maximize the output DPS, the shield, you want to get an INT int shield. You can get a titanium spirit shield, or you can get any other shield so that you can actually craft spell damage, which you can craft increased cold damage on it. Otherwise, you can use any shield if you want. It's up to your budget. But if you can get an INT shield, you can actually just craft, you can try to craft a cold damage on top of it as well. So cold damage, fizz damage, and all the +2 minion, +2 frenzy and +2 power charges. The shield will be good enough for your minions. Alright? And the clusters. So the large cluster, very simple. Just get large cluster with the minion damage. And then after that, you want to make sure it's item level 75 plus. Same for the medium cluster, 75 plus. So make sure it's item level 75 plus, and then just use Reforge crit. You don't have to use augment crit or add remove crit; it's too expensive. Just use Reforge crit. You will 100% get vicious bite, and then after that, you just need to augment life and try to hit feasting fiends or renewal. That's it. Medium clusters will be Reforge crit to get guaranteed precise commander, guaranteed. And then after that, augment cold, lightning, or fire, depending on what you have to get the vengeful commander. Vengeful commander has the highest weight, the highest possibility to actually get vengeful commander. So let's say you have a medium cluster. You have a cold res on top of the precise commander, then just augment cold, because it won't hit cold res again. And you'll definitely go for the vengeful commander. If you have a lightning res, and then you just augment lightning res on it. If you have a fire, then augment fire. Fire res, then just augment fire on it, just to prevent on getting another resist. Because if you have a cold resist on it and then you augment lightning, you might get a lightning resist and not hit the vengeful commander. I'm pretty sure you understand what I'm trying to tell you, right? So I'm going to link this notepad in the description as well, so that you can can have a look. And yeah, if you have any questions about whether the crafting aspect of the build or the build guide and stuff like that, you can leave a comment down below. If you like the video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I do build guides and crafting guides and whatnot and stuff like that. I'll be sure to reply your message as soon as I can. And yeah, overall conclusion is definitely a boss killer. The map clearing is just very, very satisfying. Good survivability. It's just one of the best all-rounder, and it's stress-free. You just can just pretty much walk around and just run around. That's all you need to do. It's a lazy man's build, I can say, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for taking your time and watching the video. I hope I see you guys on the next video. Peace out.